6A, motion is to open the hearing. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. This is for a direct system at Highland and Howland Street for a manhole. That's 6A. And 6B is a National Grid conduit pole location at Nevada Street. Is anybody opposed to this item? And nobody opposed, motion is to close the hearing. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. And motion is approved. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We have petitions. Council Sarah Rivera, Council George Russell, on behalf of the Straight Ahead Ministries, request that the light and fastball court on Caden Field be repaired. Senator Public Works, Council Russell.
Mr. Chairman, I was happy to sign on to this item with Council Rivera, knowing that all the good work that this organization does. But it brings up a more deep issue that I'd like to ask the manager to give us a formal report on about Caden Field. Over the years, there's been promises and commitments I thought made from CSX funds that were supposed to be allocated to some work in Mulcahy Field. I have tried my darndest through phone calls over the last week through various levels of city government to try and see where the money is, if it's been spent, where it's been spent, if it's to be spent, what the plan is. Mulcahy Field needs work. We put an awful lot into this neighborhood for police protection, an awful lot in the school, the junior high school that's open now after hours as part of the manager's after school program to give kids an alternative. There's a lot of good things going on in this neighborhood, but you wouldn't know it by looking at Mulcahy Field at a fast glance. So I'm asking the manager to try and prioritize. I think it's Mulcahy Field turning to be prioritized in the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 7B is 7E for the public service. We have Susan Wazaritis request the City Council call independent public transportation investigation of the Worcester National Grid Smart Meter Power Program, the Public Utilities, the Attorney General Legislature, and the Baker Administration, because National Grid has published a misleading 90% retention rate, while 4,000 of the 15,000 have dropped out. Is your name, city residence?
Susan Wazaritis, 16 Congress Street, Worcester. In October 2014, National Grid reported to the DPU that it had 1,229 opt-outs in Worcester Pilot with nearly 15,000 installations. In January of 2015, Worcester National Grid Smart Meter Pilot launched with 15,000 meters. The Boston Globe, Worcester Business Journal, and the TNG reported that the pilot had 15,000 participants. In March of 2016, National Grid reported in the TNG that the Smart Meter Pilot had 98% retention rate. However, the pilot size was listed at 11,000 by both TNG and the Bridge Group. 98% of 15,000 is 14,700, which would be 300 opt-outs. The pilot appears to have lost closer to 5,000 meters. Something is very wrong with the math coming out of Worcester. First, the number of meters that have actually been installed in Worcester is unknown and has not been independently monitored. Second, we do not know if all of the residents in the pilot know that they have a smart meter, because there is no confirmation of informed consent. More may opt out if informed of emerging health concerns. Third, we know that National Grid has its own employees in the pilot. This is clearly shown in the op-ed in TNG in November 2014. How many meters in total were installed and deinstalled in Worcester, and at what cost? What was the true cost of not getting permission from residents before putting meters on their homes? What was the carbon footprint of all the unnecessary truck rolls? Now National Grid is asking for a rate hike. Again, something is very wrong with the math. It is not just the 72 million taxes are paying for all these consultants who are promoting smart meters. Before the Commonwealth spends more money, ratepayers and taxpayers' money in taxes on the smart meter story, we need an independent public investigation. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. 7C, Judith Alden requests the Council for Independent Transparent Public Investigation by the Attorney General and the Baker Administration. National Grid was the zone in the Massachusetts Department of Public Utilities. We relied on testimony of a career tobacco scientist, Peter Velber, because there was no safety standards for long-term chronic exposure to post microwaves. Did you name the city residents? You can put that microphone down a little bit.
Hi, my name is Judy Alden, and I live in Worcester on beautiful Vernon Street. I'm participating in a study of Worcester residents with hypertension, and this is my second study in 3 years. And I'm wondering why there was no health study for the pilot when there are already documented complaints from Americans being injured by smart meters all across the country. Experts say that the blood-brain barrier, calcium channels, and DNA are being damaged by microwaves. I learned about the calcium channel blockers back in the 80s when I worked at Bridgewater State Hospital. And I was told that we were giving a drug called Inderol, which is usually for blood pressure, giving it to young men who were very violent to control their violence because of their calcium channel issues. I make it a point to learn what the experts are saying about the smart meters, and they don't agree with Peter Goldberg, the tobacco scientist at National Grid and the DPU used as their health expert. When one of Worcester's former city councilors was asked about the ill effects on health as a result of the smart meters, he thought the pilot was worth the calculated risk. It's becoming apparent that smart meters and WiMAX antennas are a huge risk, and the citizens didn't get to vote. Another former councilor said that the pilot was already a done deal and mandated by the state. It's looking like the pilot results are also supposed to be a done deal, and that is why we need an independent public investigation. In 2008, the National Academies of Science said that the U.S. radio frequency exposure guidelines were not researched enough for pregnant women, infants, children, and medically vulnerable residents. Some of these groups do live in Worcester. Think about your own children and grandchildren, and did you do everything you could to protect them? Thank you.
Thank you.
This is
Okay, 7D, Pamela Steinberg, to request that the state of Worcester immediately enlist the state attorney general, inspector general, state auditor, and bank administrator to public investigate costs, overruns, and costs before the National Grid Smart Meter Pilot Program, including the costs incurred by the Department of Public Utilities and the Mass agencies promoting smart meters. What's your name and state your residence?
Pam Steinberg, Worcester, Mass. The cost of the smart meter pilot program was reported to be between $44 and $46 million for a 15,000 meter rollout. That cost has risen by 50% in just 1 year into the 2-year program, while the number of participants has dropped by almost a third to 11,000. National Grid petitioned the DPU in March 2015 for $14 million in additional expenses for the period ending December 2014, before the pilot even started. This year on March 15th, National Grid petitioned the DPU for another $13 million, bringing the current cost for the pilot program to $72 million, $27 million over budget. At the original reported cost of $2,800 per meter, former Attorney General Martha Coakley declared the program too expensive to implement. Today, factoring in the additional $27 million and a 30% drop in enrollment, the actual cost per meter now is $6,500. What is the official cost of the program? And why is National Grid misrepresenting its finances to the community, to legislators, to investors, to ratepayers, and to the press? I respectfully ask the City Council to call for the State's Attorney General, the Inspector General, State Auditor, and the Baker administration to publicly investigate cost overruns and cost reporting of the National Grid Smart Meter Pilot Program, and I have documentation for my statements here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. Okay. I think a report from the administration that we've got these issues. Thank you, Councilor Gale.
I think we actually have several items on tonight from the Committee on Public Service and Transportation, which is kind of what we're seeking as well. So I agree with you, sir.
Okay, so send administration for report. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 7F, refer to Public Works. Is Candace here?
One more speaker.
What's that?
7E.
Okay. Oh, I missed 7E? I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, request City Council call for an investigation of State Attorney, General Inspector General, and State Auditor because it claims a $1.25 million savings attributed to the Worcester National Grid Smart Meter Pilot Program.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Honorable Council, taxpayers. My name is Christopher Mayer from the M&P Conservative Media Network, and I reside at 8 Puritan Ave here in the city. And on behalf of the taxpayers and ratepayers of the city of Worcester, I formally petition this great council to request that the Attorney General Martin Healy begin an investigation into the alleged $1.25 million in savings reported by National Grid in the Smart Meter program. In the book Technocracy Rising by Patrick Wood, one of the elements of technocracy is the control of energy, both distribution, consumption, including the installation of new digital meters in every home and business. Essentially, National Grid is claiming that $1.25 million could power the Worcester Library for a year. I find this claim dubious at best, because where's the money? It is a well-known fact that National Grid started out this program at $46 million in cost, as has been said before, servicing about 15,000 customers, but now they're down to 11,000, still claiming a 98% retention rate. This math doesn't make sense. Before the program got off the ground, National Grid was already asking the Department of Public Utilities in March of 2015 for an additional $14 million to cover expenses. Then they did it again just last month. So the cost has gone up while the number of participants has gone down. How does National Grid reconcile this? And how do they justify this? And if it's such a great program, why isn't National Grid just paying for it themselves? So the question begs, if this has saved the ratepayers $1.25 million to power the library for the year, why does National Grid ask twice for taxpayer money to cover expenses? How do we reconcile this? How do we put that square peg into the round hole? Is it smart to spend $72 million to save $1.25 million? How did National Grid exactly calculate the savings? Given that participants receive lower electricity rates just for being in the pilot? And how did they account for all the free equipment, furnace switches, pool pump controls that will not be part of any future deployment in mass, but will be paid for by the ratepayers? Following smart meter installations, Maryland utilities are asking for an increase of more than $7 a month for both gas and electricity when the consumers attempt to conserve. The utilities then ask to raise their base rates to maintain their profits. In fact, in September 23, 2015, the Baltimore City Council Board of Estimates approved a conduit fee increase that is nearly 350% of the prior fee and increases Baltimore Gas and Electric's annual conduit fee expense by more than $29 million, from $12.2 million per year to $41.4 million per year. So my point is that these savings are just a ruse, and that while nationally electrical consumption remains flat due to conservation, better efficiency appliances, lighting, etc., companies like Baltimore Gas Electric, National Grid, and city-owned lines, possibly some here in the city itself, are always due to increase the fees. Are the taxpayers of Worcester expected to cough up additional money for the maintenance and replacement of these devices in the 5 to 7 years which are expected to last? We all remember the old meters that we all used to have. We all in this room grew up with them. I don't think I ever remember a meter on my house ever being changed in the 45 years I lived in that house. Cost reports from other cities across the country implementing this program are already skyrocketing, well beyond the initial estimates. Taxpayers are being tapped to cover these costs while experiencing little to no rate reduction or actual savings. Astonishingly, savings are exactly what National Grid and others are claiming. Where's the beef? It is incumbent upon this council to request an Attorney General investigation to account for the Department of Public Utilities requests for more money while claiming savings for the city of Worcester. If it may please the clerk, I have some documents to put into the record. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, administration, and we're going to 7F. 7F, refer to Public Works. Is anybody